is CW Sports.
It feels like springtime in Hampton, Georgia. CW Sports live at Echo Park Speedway. There's the birthday boy, Brandon Jones, Atlanta's own, turned 29 this week. Hoping for a little hometown success. Always good in the draft, the reigning champ, Jesse Love. It's appropriate we show him because he's really good when it comes to qualifying in the draft. And we're ready to qualify. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Setting up for round 2 here tomorrow. Coverage begins on CW, 4:30 Eastern Time. And we'll set the field right now with Jamie McMurray, Parker Kligerman. I'm Adam Alexander. And the first car out, 74 Dawson Cram, 24 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina.
Got to think, doesn't race every single weekend. Parker go out here and hold it wide open, have that commitment all the way around the top of turns 3 and 4. Hard to do.
First lap on track for the O'Reilly cars. Thankfully for them, they had the trucks just before this, which if you watched some of the early trucks, it was a very dusty racetrack out there, which this place is losing grip. You can see how it's gray just compared to a couple years ago. And when you get in this car and just do a qualifying lap, is your wheel set correct, Jamie?
Yeah, there's so many little things that can bug you, right? So many little things. They're just like little nuances that can really annoy a driver if it's not correct.
No practice this weekend, just qualifying and then you race. First lap on the board, Dawson Cram goes at 33.57. That equates to just over 165 miles per hour. You saw the graphic, 39 cars here, only 38 make the show, so 1 will go home. 32 get in on speed. If you beat 7, you're locked in, and we'll be keeping an eye on the fast 10 because the top 10 in the opening round advance to the second round, and they will run for the pole. Second car out from Knoxville, Tennessee. Here's Chad Fincham of the 55.
Don't know about you guys, but I worked all week at saying O'Reilly as many times as I could. Kudos to you for not slipping up. First time of the day right there was good.
I feel like I've been doing the same mental drills as of late and just trying to get through it. It's really hard to watch last year's race to do our prep.
Oh, right.
Because we said the other word about 1 million times a broadcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you his O'Reilly car, Chad Fincham's, was pretty good right there.
Hey.
Yeah.
33 flat. He jumps in front of Dawson Cram.
All right, we're not supposed to have favorites, but this was pretty devastating last week when this car didn't make the show.
But what a bounce back when he jumped into 4.
He did a great job in that, but for this team, the owner's point situation, they got to get this rolling forward for the 96. So let's see what they can bring today.
Well, that lap that Chad Fincham ran at 33 flat is still second and a half off of what we think the pace is going to be, so Alfredo's going to want to be 3/4 a second quicker than what Fincham ran, I think, to feel really good about it.
Working toward a half a second quicker.
Yep.
Anthony Alfredo in the 96 after piloting the 4 from Alpha Prime last week to an 11th place finish. He is fastest, 32.42 for the driver from the Northeast. You've heard from the guys in the booth. Now let's go down to pit road. Say good afternoon to Kim Kuhn.
Hello, Adam. Standing here with Corey Day, who impressed last weekend at Daytona qualifying. But as we look at Echo Park Speedway, no starts in any series here. What has your team and your crew chief, Adam Wall, prepared you for in terms of what to expect here?
Qualifying should be pretty easy, wide open. So that's a plus always when you can come to a new place and have that confidence. So, I'm excited for the race tomorrow. It looks super fast-paced, and you can build some decent-sized runs. So, I'm excited. Kind of used to this new track thing now, so I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, Corey Day being excited is not much different than Corey Day not being excited right there. It's all pretty similar. He's pretty level-headed.
Read his emotions.
Right.
Garrett Smithley missed the race last week at Daytona, second right now of the 4 cars that have taken time in qualifying here at Echo Park Speedway. 91, Mason Maggio, involved in an early accident last week at Daytona. And this number making headlines this week. We found out Carson Kvapil is going to do 4 races in the 91. It's all a part of a collaboration with Junior Motorsports to get him full-time. Connor Zilic going to drive the 1 next week. It'll be the first time that Kvapil goes over and drives the 91. He'll do it on the road course at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. But this weekend, it's Maggio again and flashing a lot of green as he makes his qualifying effort.
I got to think that's going to make it a little complicated on us as well in the booth of all these guys moving around with the same names, but in a different car. But yeah, great lap here by Maggio.
That's a beautiful car. Love that paint scheme. Freerent.org.
He's quickest, 32-33. Here's Dylan Welch.
Hey, Adam, catching up with Jeff Burton as he waits his turn to qualify. Okay, you've got sprayway on the car this week. Looks good. What can we expect from the 27 this week?
Well, hopefully better than last week. We had a pretty good car last week. We had golden growl in the car and just didn't quite have enough to miss the wreck. I thought I was going to be able to miss it. And I hit the 17's rear bumper and it knocked the right front down. I shot up straight in the wall. So that was disappointing for us. But hopefully our sprayway glass cleaner car will be fast today and we can have a good starting position. We ran really good here last year. So not really sure how good it'll qualify, but I think it'll race well tomorrow night.
Thanks, Jeb.
Jeb led the way in practice last week at Daytona. Got banged up in the race. Didn't get the finish he was hoping for. New man leading the way in qualifying, Gio Ruggiero in the 19.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Huh. That is a uniform right there.
It took me a while to comprehend what I was.
I can't even figure it out. What am I looking
at? Well, I'm assuming that's a little bit of roast beef,
just
maybe
a
some
meat
bun. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a meat suit.
Yeah. Meat sweats.
Nick Sanchez making the move in the offseason, driving for AM Racing. Last time we raced here at Echo Park Speedway, he took the checkered flag in the 48 for Big Machine. Only win in his career. Also won in the draft when he was driving full-time in the Craftsman Truck Series.
And he didn't qualify well at Daytona, but within a short amount of laps, found himself up front. Unfortunately, got involved in that wreck off of turn 4. Took them out of that race.
And his aggression works well at a track like this. Get the run, you got to take it as soon as you get it. It's a little bit different than what we see at Daytona and Talladega because of the 1 mile less in length that we see here. Nick's going to be fourth at 32.59.
Well, you think back to when he won here last summer. It was a spin and a win. Got away from him, went through the infield grass, came back, and got the checkered flag with a strong finish. Here's Dean Thompson in the 26, one of 7 drivers that was not involved in an accident at Daytona. Problem is, mechanical issues put him in the garage and he got a DNF, so missed an opportunity to take advantage. In fact, there were no Toyotas that finished that race last Saturday evening, which is just remarkable, but it speaks to how challenging things can be at a place like Daytona, and we'll see, I'm sure, a heavy attrition rate here again tomorrow.
Yeah, they lost so many Toyotas so early, the PR person left for Toyota halfway through the race, apparently.
Toyota's 1-2 right now in qualifying. Thompson goes second, 32.28 to Kim.
Well, the camera's already Carson Kvapil's suit. I was going to surprise you guys. He warned me about his suit early in the day, but Carson, Atlanta has been a good place for you. You think about what you were able to do last year. What's the expectation coming into this weekend?
Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, the Arby's colors are on this weekend, so it's pretty cool to debut the race for those guys and Junior Motorsports. But honestly, just looking for a really good qualifying effort. I feel like we could be in the top 10 range. I'd be happy with, and moving on to the second round would be pretty cool. So just trying to do the best that we can to keep the meat rocket out front, and hopefully Rodney Childers and the whole one team can do their jobs, and we can be pretty fast.
Okay, I got to interject because he talked to me about what he was going to name this car. He said it was between Meat Rocket and Meat Missile. It sounded like you decided on Meat Rocket.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they're pretty much the same. I'm not 100%, but like I was saying, this whole number 1 team, these guys have brought me a really fast car to Daytona, and I'm sure it's going to be the same for Atlanta here. So super excited.
I don't know if you guys want to weigh in on what we should be calling his
I'm
Arby's
going to
car.
let Jamie use that term throughout the race.
I feel like meat's such a vulnerable subject that you can just use it.
I just find it ironic. I just find it ironic that a lot of times the sponsor, is Bass Pro Shops and it's camo, and you kind of can't see them.
It looked camo
and
there,
this
though,
week
right?
it's Arby's, and it's like just all over. You can see him coming from 100 miles away. Josh Williams made his qualifying run right there with his teammate Mason Maggio. He is 4th. And next up, Joey Gase in the 35.
I do love, though, RB's activation. They're everywhere right now within NASCAR on the Cup side, obviously the O'Reilly side. It's awesome to see them come in and do everything that they are.
And I saw Raja and Carson at an Arby's earlier today.
They working.
Serve it.
Yeah.
Joey Gase goes to second. Great lap for him. Hey, we're not the only ones having fun with that driver suit. Raja said, what in the world is that? I'm assuming every driver has their checklist before they go out and make their qualifying lap. Was selfie inside the race car on the list for you too?
Well, he got the up front and then the side angle as well. So that's key. But I got to tell you, seeing Jeb on his phone every week, CW puts out a promo on Instagram and social media promoting the next race, and every time he's not in it, he hits me up and he goes, "What the heck, man? This week he was in it." I don't know if he loved what he was saying in it, but he was in it, and he didn't text me.
Great week for Jordan Anderson Racing last week. I said it, it didn't go well for Jeb, but across the board, they had a nice start to 2026. Here's Sam Mayer, who took a hard hit. He was involved in a couple of early crashes, and somehow, some way, was running inside the top 5, but eventually eliminated late, recorded a DNF.
As a matter of fact, Jordan Anderson is still doing that post-race interview, I think, right now, as we're at Atlanta.
Banks, his son, stole the show.
That's right. It was good.
It was classic.
That was awesome. Sam Mayer, as I watched the race back from last year, incredible pusher on the restarts. He does such a great job of getting connected, and he was the guy you wanted to have lined up behind you. Look at that lap he's got going right here. This is actually to the 10th place car.
That makes more sense.
Which is Dawson Cram.
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
when he was 7/10 faster than Ruggiero, I'm like, wait a minute here.
What's going on here?
But we flipped it now that we've had 10 drivers out. Top 10 advanced to the second round, so we're tracking to the bubble. Still an unbelievable lap for Mayer, who jumps to the top. 31.87.
A little bit warmer than it was last year when we were here at Echo Park Speedway, so I don't expect the speeds to be quite as quick. The engines don't make quite as much power as when it's really cool out.
And even, we might not see big handling moments during this, but if this track is losing grip, you start to slide the tires a little more. Yeah, you're scrubbing the tires, so that's going to change the speeds that we see in qualifying a little bit. So all those factors line up where it's tough to compare last year, the year prior, apples to apples, what you're seeing right now.
Surprised to see the lack of speed right here in the 51 car. The car of Mayer that just ran, essentially out of the same camp, same engines. Not near the speed in Jeremy's car. You see right there, 32.76.
What's up, Dylan?
Adam, you talk about the strong weekend for Jordan Anderson Racing last week. Blaine Perkins was a part of that, finished in the 8th spot. You're kind of a sneaky good speedway racer. You've had some good runs in the past, last year too. So how much of that philosophy or just attitude about racing at these type of places applies here?
Yeah, Atlanta is definitely a little bit different than Daytona and Talladega. A little bit more handling involved here, but we're taking the same philosophy, man. We brought a really fast race car last week, and hopefully we do the same thing today. We're about to find out here in about another 10 minutes, and looking forward to getting out there in our number 31 Werner Chevy and hopefully run up front again.
Great start to the year last weekend for these guys. Try to keep it rolling again tomorrow.
It was an excellent run last week for Blaine Perkins. He was up front throughout the whole day. Was really a great pusher for a long of the time, and just obviously was really figuring out the draft and keeping himself up front in a great position that whole race.
Scored stage points in both stages, did Blaine Perkins. Finished inside the top 10. You saw Jordan Anderson, who was driving last week. He'll just wear the owner's hat this week, but he finished 4th. Brandon Jones completes his qualifying effort, goes to 3rd, right behind his teammate Gio Ruggiero. Here's another Toyota, Harrison Burton in the 24.
One thing to keep an eye on as we watch this qualifying is there is a bit of a decision the teams make as they come here to Atlanta, which is, do you go for outright speed, getting that rear spoiler out of the air, but that's a car that potentially could be hard to drive, or do you go towards the downforce, decision of trying to add grip to that race car and be better in the race? So as we go later in this qualifying session, if you see a car you expected to be way faster, they could have been making that decision for more downforce.
Harrison Burton, 3rd overall, 2nd of the Toyotas. 14 cars have taken time. The top 7 are locked in on speed. And here's another Toyota from Joe Gibbs Racing, 54, Taylor Gray. He was running great the truck race last Friday night in Daytona. Crashed late. Part of the equation in the O'Reilly Auto Parts event on Saturday evening and involved in a late crash. So he's hoping for a little bounce back here. And You know, this is a driver that finds his way in the draft. Doesn't always get the finish, but he's quite capable of going out performing, and a lot of green as he brings it to turn 3.
Yeah, and it's kind of been feast or famine for him at this particular track. 1 top 5, but 2 DNFs, and that's just a product of the type of racing that we see here. You know he'll be a factor if he can get to the end. That car is always fast. He does a terrific job. Got a really fast car. You see 32 flat right there, second place for Taylor Gray.
And better than his teammates Ruggiero and Jones, who are currently inside the top 5. Visited with Corey Day just a moment ago. Here's driver 17.
I'm slightly reserving judgment on what I think is fast until we see an RCR car.
Yeah, so it's so hard.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, because that's the barometer of what we're going to measure everything by. Corey Day tracking a decent lap right here. It's off of Anthony Alfredo, who's at a 32.40. So 32.10, 32.20 for Corey Day. It's going to be a good lap.
He had a DNF at Daytona, and he was, so hard on himself, but I really like what he brings to the table. Going to be fun to watch him grow in his first year full-time, and a good effort here takes him to 4th in qualifying.
And that was his first ever lap of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I can tell you that probably felt like he was going 1,000.
Yeah, well, I was going to tell you, the next lap he runs is going to be way more exciting.
Yeah,
for sure.
At least know where he's going that time.
That's right.
Talked to Jeff Burton, watched him getting ready in the race car. Here's the 27. 2 career victories, both coming in the draft at Talladega Superspeedway, including one when he was driving for Jordan Anderson a few years ago. Just missed that win at Talladega last season. Josh Williams on the bubble. And if you look at the tracker, right there with him is Jeb, who's just now fallen into the red.
Here bottoming out just a tick.
Yeah, not bad though. It seems like about what you would want. The travel's probably where they need. The speed just doesn't seem to be there. I see 32.50 for Jeb Burton, going to put him 12. I know Daytona was disappointing. He was fastest in the practice we had, and super optimistic heading into the race just because he always does well at those type tracks, and didn't get the finish he wanted. So they can rebound this weekend and get a better result and get all the way to the end.
Kim?
Well, we talked about the strength we saw from Jordan Anderson Racing last week in Daytona. Ross Chastain making what will be one of 4 starts this season for the team in the 32. After what you saw from the team last weekend, how optimistic are you about the pairing with them this year?
Yeah, I was jumping up and down, Kim, for Jordan there at the end, and Blaine ran a great race. So, yeah, it's really cool to see what Jordan's built. I remember when he came into the sport and was borrowing a lot of things. He was out back in the corner at Nice Motorsports when we were renting a shop, when Nice was. So definitely cool to see what Shane Whitbeck has built over there with Jordan. And I finally get to work with Mark Setzer, the crew chief on my 32, Protect Your Melon Chevy, a guy that has navigated these garages for a long time. And I've always competed against Mark, and I'm excited to finally get to work with him. It's these little things as I keep going through my career, getting to work with different people and run for 3 different O'Reilly teams this year is cool when they changed the rule to 10. So excited for today, really tomorrow, to go race in this race.
I'm excited to see what he can do tomorrow night.
Me too.
We talk about guys that can give Austin Hill or Jesse Love a run for the win, and he's the guy I've got on my radar. I can't wait to see what he can do once the race starts. I don't really care where he qualifies. I hope the car has speed, but based on what Jordan did last weekend, I feel like it's going to race well.
It'll be fun to watch. This guy right here qualifying, Sheldon Creed, he's one that could definitely go out there and win. You feel like each and every week there's an opportunity. This could be one of them. He's a great speedway driver, great drafting track driver. Pretty good speed.
Gosh, both of those cars,
But
HFT
that's
cars,
P2, 3193. Good job,
almost
guys.
on
Take
top
care
of
of
each
you.
other.
Up here.
Heard Jonathan Toney, the crew chief on the radio, made the move from Ford to Chevy in the offseason, producing speed today. Jamie referenced 1-2 for the Haas factory team. And here comes the final Toyota to qualify from the Joe Gibbs Racing Camp, William Sawalich. DNF last week, but that was after he had scored stage points and spent a lot of time up there, top 5, top 10.
Yeah, and he was fastest in the first round we had at Daytona. Wasn't able to back it up. It'd be interesting to see how much speed this car is going to have in it today. He's tracking again to be top 2 or 3. It's a beautiful car. Awesome chrome numbers on the side of that.
Third and fourth on the board right now. Guys from Joe Gibbs Racing. And there's Sawalich right there with him. He goes to third, 31-94. 20 cars have been. Top 13 are locked into the show. And coming up, we'll hear from some rookies. Patrick Starpoli will qualify. LeVar Scott will be on track. And Raja Karuth, who's coming off a career best at Daytona. NASCAR triple header weekend here at Echo Park Speedway. Qualifying for the Cup cars comes your way tomorrow. NASCAR on Prime, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. FS1 has Truck Series coverage at 1:30. And at 4:30, go to CW. It's round 2 for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Sunday's Cup race on Fox, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. O'Reilly qualifying continues. Round 1, top 10 advance. One car will go home. 39 here for 38 spots. Next out, 87, Austin Green.
That car had a hard time getting up to speed right there as he left the pits. These guys will run as high as they can. You see leaving 1 and 2 and do the same thing down here in turns 3 and 4, just trying to make the track as big as they can. It's more important here than even at Daytona or Talladega because of how short the racetrack is. It's really hard to get the car up to speed by the time you get to the start-finish line, and they'll obviously run on the bottom of both ends once you get up to speed.
You know how I know it's a short lap?
Tell me.
Because the second you start telling a story or saying anything, it's over. Like, what happened?
It is funny, the difference in our thought process from Daytona, Talladega to Atlanta, now Echo Park Speedway. It just feels totally different in the way they get around and how you're allowed to do your work.
You really just take everything from Daytona and Talladega and you condense it a mile shorter, right? And it's like, what does that feel like? It feels like everything's happening faster. The laps happen faster. You know, when wrecks happen, you're in them quicker. It's a really interesting sort of feeling when you're in these race cars at this track since they repaved it.
Green is 18th. Dylan?
Sammy Smith is towards the back of the qualifying order here for the JRM number 8 car. Top 5 last week, top 5 in this race a year ago. What do you feel like was working well for you guys last year that you hope to apply again this year?
Yeah, overall, really good start, to the season at Daytona. I thought we had a lot of positives and a few things I could take away to be a little bit better, but I thought the Pilot Chevrolet was really fast, and, excited to be here at Atlanta. We were really fast here last year. I think, HMS Engine Shop did a really good job getting us a little more power. We obviously saw that last week and looking forward to that this week. And, hopefully we can work a little bit better with our teammates. We did a good job last week, but definitely I think could improve on it. But we all talked, and we're excited for this weekend.
Thanks, Sammy.
But I thought he was one of the best cars last week. And Parker, we've harped on this all of last year. If they want to beat Austin Hill, they got to get together. They got to work together, all of JRM. Got to be good teammates and be committed. It's hard to do, and they haven't done a good job of it up to this point.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the pre-race tomorrow, but they had a couple opportunities where the 4 of them were up against Austin Hill, and they just didn't connect together to get by him. They've got to do that, but Sammy Smith, if you want someone pushing you, it's him. He's a great pusher. He really understands the draft and does a great job at these tracks.
23rd car out in qualifying, Cody Ware.
Cody filling in for his brother this week.
Yeah. I looked at the entry list, and I'm like, someone's made a mistake. I just assumed it was going to be Carson, but it is, in fact, Cody. And he qualifies 20th.
His first start in the O'Reilly Series since 2021.
Wow, that was a good little fun fact.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You come to me anytime.
Yeah.
I got tons of facts.
Well, we will. You set yourself up now.
Oh, no.
Top 16 are locked in. Here's Patrick Starpoli in the 48.
So I talked to Patrick this week. Gave me a call post-Daytona. And he said, man, I was really hoping to talk before Daytona. And now I really wish we had. Yeah, I could see. He was like, man, that thing was hard to hold on to. He's definitely drinking to a fire hose doing this full-time now in the O'Reilly Series. But such a cool guy. He's so fun to talk to, and it was so fun to talk to about his process and what he's doing to try and
It's
learn.
such a good story.
Oh, it's such a cool, and it's the way he's thinking about this and going about learning and understanding and understanding the different types of tracks that he's going to be racing at. It's really cool. I think he's going to be a lot of fun to follow this year. And Solid lap there in 8th.
Yeah, this is the team that won the last time we raced here.
No pressure.
In Hampton, Georgia. Yeah. But
to be honest, I don't even think he's thinking that way.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's so mentally mature.
Exactly.
He can manage all of that, even though I know
Unlike
there was sarcasm
of the 48 car.
Oh, really? Let's just go to Kim, okay?
I'm here with the most recent winner in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, Austin Hill, who now comes to his statistically best track, a 5-time winner here at Echo Park Speedway, also your home track. How many friends will you have on the track tomorrow, do you think?
Oh, gosh.
And do you need them?
I would love to say I'm going to have a bunch of friends, but I'm going to say maybe one. And I'm going to say that that's probably going to be Jesse until we get down to the wire and it's 10 or 15 to go, and then it'll be at 0. So, look, I do think that you need some friends, but there are ways to make guys work with you. Even like they might not want to be in the position that they're in, but they're like, I either have to push the 21 or I'm going to go backwards. And so you have some of that going on that I think we do a really good job of, especially my spotter, Derek Nealon, just letting me know stuff that's going on. But Atlanta is just so much different than Daytona and Talladega, and a big track position racetrack, and I'm just looking forward to it. Atlanta's been good to us, but there's been a little bit of luck on our side. So we just got to go out there, do our job, do what we do best with our Bennett Chevrolet, everybody at RCR, ECR, CT Springs. They always build fast Chevrolets when we come here. So looking forward to it.
We might have missed the travels there on LeVar Scott's car.
About a quarter inch.
Yeah. The sparks are the telltale there. They'll see that underneath. The cross member is ground through, basically.
The cross member, the transmission, the exhaust pipes, the track bar mount. Yeah, everything with a touch there.
Scott goes to 21st, 22nd. Josh Bilicki was also on track during the interview. You talk Austin Hill, and he's right there with the best all-time when you talk win percentage. He is the best all-time when you talk about wins in the draft in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
At some point, it has to flip on him, right? I mean, like, he's super fast at these tracks, but at some point, your luck, like the caution's got to fall wrong or the restart's got to go wrong. But up to this point, it has not.
Well, but the funny thing is, he's been through some of those moments and overcome them to win these races. And it's the speed, and it's what he talked about there, where he's been very open in his post-race after Daytona. He's like, other people trying to get by each other end up helping me out. And it's often that what he talked about, where he forces people to work with him, he does. And there's so many people who are thinking, if I want to get to the front, I'll follow the 21 car. That plays in his favor as well. So it's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy in some respects that is continuing and growing. I think the series, though, as a whole, is a little on tilt right now.
Yeah, and he said it, though. At this place, you don't need as much help as you do in Daytona or Talladega. You can do a lot of that on your own because of how short the track is and just how different it is. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why you see him have the most success here. Fast car, great drafter, aggressive.
And Parker Retzloff, this race last year.
Oh, so close.
So close. The Alpha Prime number 4. He was right there. He had a monster run on Austin Hill. Ends up getting turned through the tri-oval there. Maybe he can run that back again tomorrow night.
Kyle Sieg made his qualifying run. He's 12th. Here's Retzloff back to the line.
Cairo.
15th for him. Right, look at that, 6,000ths of a second quicker than his teammate, and both cars from Viking are locked into the show. Dylan?
Catching up with Justin Allgaier, who has been close the last couple of years to winning here in Atlanta. As this track continues to age, where does the balance shift between needing a car that just has outright speed versus one that drives well, too?
Well, I think for us on the 7 team, we feel like drivability is super important. And Andrew Overstreet and this entire Regis 6 number 7 team have really kind of gone that direction. So, I don't know what to expect for qualifying. But, if Daytona was any indication, we out-qualified our expectations pretty well. And I think, this O'Reilly Auto Parts Series is kind of a fun spot right now, especially on this style of racing, because you have everywhere across the board. So, we'll see what we got. I know that, come tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have a really fast Chevrolet, and Hendrick and the shop's been working really hard. I see 2 of them up front right now, so we'll go out there, lay down the best lap we can, but ultimately it's going to come down to the checker flag.
Thanks, Justin.
His car last Saturday night looked like he'd been racing at Martinsville. And he still finished second. Brennan Poole 23rd in qualifying.
Couldn't help but think about Brendan Poole on the last lap down the backstretch. The bump from Justin Allgaier.
So
If that had connected
close.
correctly.
So close.
He had such a big run generating there. He would want that one back.
Raja Caruth, top 10. 10th is where he ended up at Daytona. Good enough for a career best.
Marty Lindley's got that thing on the ground.
Plenty of travel out of 88 as well. Decent lap going right there. You see 2/10 up on Joey Gase, who's at a 32.27. So, yeah, this is going to be really good lap right here.
Caruth going to jump into the top 10, have a chance to run for the pole. Maybe he's 5th right now with 9 cars remaining in the opening round. We'll see Love, Perkins, Ellis, Ross Chastain will qualify when we come back. Sammy Smith and Justin Allgaier on the board as well. Round 1 about to come to a close here at Echo Park Speedway. Closing on the end of the opening round of qualifying here in Atlanta. What's going on here post-qualifying lap from Jeb Burton?
A driver adjusting their best friend at a drafting track, aside from the spotter, is that rearview mirror. Look at the size of that rearview mirror. They've gotten bigger and bigger over the years because the more you can see behind you, the more you can throw those late last-minute blocks, be able to control the pack. Jeb Burton in there making his own adjustments. Often drivers do this because you got to get that right. It's for you. It's for your best interest. Spend a little extra time and get that thing perfectly where you want it.
Jeb Burton among the drivers right down around that cut line of being locked in. Top 23 right now locked into the show. That includes Austin Green, who doesn't have a ton of points to fall back on. Here's Jesse Love. Think about a couple of years ago here when he was a rookie. Led all those laps, won both stages, and couldn't close the deal because we had guys running out of fuel late, got cautions, and eventually he ran out of fuel. But you know he'll be a player here tomorrow night.
Well, and everybody's going to be watching this lap. The 2-car, no surprise to see Green there, but not as much as I would have thought we were going to see. It makes you wonder if they did go for handling more.
Yeah.
Like when you see that, it's got to be the first thing. I mean, that's still going to be a decent lap. But it's going to be 4th, 5th, not the speed that we normally see out of the 2-car.
They don't usually flirt with advancing to the second round.
Whoa.
7th for Love.
7th.
P7.
Put Starpoli on the bubble with 6 to go in the opening round.
I wondered if we get some sort of context there from Stockman.
I was really wanting Danny to talk a little more right there.
Give us some context. Do you think that's what it is? That means they're going for downforce, or were you disappointed and you're surprised? We'll probably get more confirmation from the 21, but those two often do have different paths that they go down.
They do, for sure.
I said 6 to go. There are 8 remaining in the first round of qualifying. First of those, Blaine Perkins. Talked about his great run last Saturday in the season opener at Daytona.
He did a tremendous job last week. Yeah, I was really impressed with what he was able to do the entire race. You know, unfortunately, it gets to the end of those and chaos breaks out, but still great finish for him at Daytona.
Coming off a career best season last year, driving this 31. Young driver from Bakersfield, California, 17th.
I'm going to say disappointment in Stockman's voice as I think back to what I heard there.
I don't know.
Because otherwise, I
think
you'd immediately say, it's okay. We know what we got this weekend. I feel like you would have justified it.
There'll be more. Maybe there's a kink in the RCR armor. Maybe.
Ryan Ellis, 0-2 for Young's Motorsports. Outstanding start to his campaign with this new team. New team to him, not new team overall. 6th, got a career best.
And so last year, all he wanted was a first top 10. He got that done. Then at Daytona was so close, maybe one move. I watched his onboard there after the race of getting a top 5. His spotter was disappointed. He was ecstatic as all could be.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
super proud of him and happy for him to get another top 10.
Works hard all week long, putting the funds together so he can go out and race on Saturday. 21st is where Ellis slots in.
Meat missile.
Oh, he
there
said
it is.
He
I got it first.
I didn't think he was going to do it.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun with that tomorrow. Probably every time Arby's is on the car.
I'm going to let you have that, okay?
I think it's great.
Whopper 4 career runner-ups, including here last summer. Really good in the draft, looking for his first career victory.
What's on the side? Is it fries or more roast beef? What are we looking at here?
What are you looking?
the side of the car, like the
I think those
suit.
are fries.
Oh, it is curly fries.
Curly
Okay.
fries.
I mean, it's a staple.
Yeah. Meat missile with fries. I like it.
And I would say that I'll dip my curly fries
in that horsey sauce.
In that horsey sauce.
Yeah, me too. That's
But you said
so
you're
good.
a mixture guy.
Yeah,
you
I
like
do.
the
I like a
barbecue,
little both.
barbecue
Yeah.
horsey together. Really good lap here for Quapple.
Oh, yeah.
Comes back to 5th. And just in front of his teammate. In fact, a thousandth of a second quicker than Roger Carruth, who falls to 6th.
No issues there.
Harrison Burton on the bubble. And we got 5 to go.
I was thinking the only thing he's missing is a visor strip of Arby's in that car. They could have got 1 or 2 more logos.
That's right.
First of those 5 remaining in the opening round of qualifying, Ross Chastain.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be somebody to keep your eye on tomorrow night. Ross, obviously a full-time Cup guy, and it's always fun to watch them come back and run in the O'Reilly Series. Just see how good these guys are. Car looks like it has decent speed right here. He's going to be probably very close to where one of his teammates, Jeb Burton, is.
What I love about Ross is, unlike a lot of Cup drivers who want to be in the best cars all the time, the best equipment, he does not care.
Yeah,
Like,
interesting take for him to do that. Yeah.
Well, he'll drive anything,
Yeah.
and he just wants to be racing trucks and O'Reilly cars, and he'll jump around different teams. Obviously, he was at Junior Motorsports last year, getting this opportunity with Jordan Anderson this year. I just think it's super cool to see him, just jump around and say he always thinks there's something to learn, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
26 for Chastain. 4 to go in the opening round. That means the top 6 are locked in. They will run for the pole. Among them, Quapple and Carruth. Here is their teammate, Sammy Smith, who's flashing some green off the corner.
Similar to the 88, his teammate Roger Carruth. They're a little bit of bottoming out. Sparks flying.
The tracker is going the right direction, even though you see a little bit of sparks. I like that, just a little. It tells you you're kind of just right on the edge.
You can see the travel there, how much the tire is going up into the wheel well in the rear.
Good lap here. Really good lap right here.
7th for Smith.
They're all close to each other.
3 to go, so he will advance and run for the pole. How about Ryan Sieg last week? Involved, we had a problem early, right? His tire goes down. Before we get to last week, look at this.
Oh, you got to stop. You got to stop. It's the brake check. So they do a brake at the drafting tracks. They do a brake check in qualifying. You accelerate, you stop to prove you don't have the brakes pulled back. He just missed the stop.
He was texting. I think he was paying attention. He wasn't paying attention.
But you think about last week, has the flat tire, loses a lap, doesn't get the free pass at the end of stage 1, takes the wave around, later involved in a crash. He loses a lap there and gets the free pass, battles back for a 3rd place finish. And flirting with the bubble, but on the south side of it right now, doesn't look like the 39 is going to be able to advance.
It's so close when you look at that from 10th all the way down to 17th. The Sieg ends up 11th at 32.18. So close with all those guys.
Corey Day stays on the bubble with 2 remaining in this opening round. Justin Allgaier and Austin Hill. First up, the 7, second last week at Daytona.
This will be an interesting one compared to his teammates. You kind of heard Justin talk about it, maybe choose a little bit more towards handling downforce in the 7 car compared to his teammates. So we'll see where he lines up.
Red.
Trackers,
on the tracker.
I think that's telling you your story.
Yeah,
it's
exactly what he said.
Yeah. They're choosing to go towards handling, which I think is a smart choice. I think this place is continually losing grip. Justin is at the front of these Atlanta races often. If I think of someone that can beat Austin Hill, it's this 7 car right here, but right on the bubble there. Oh! Hey!
Ends up 11th.
32-11.
Missed it by 0.003 of a second.
Close.
So Day stays on the bubble, and here comes Austin Hill. He and his teammate Jesse Love have combined for 13 poles in the draft in their career. And Love right now 9th. We'll see if the 21's any faster in this opening round of qualifying.
Typically, you see the 2 car of Jesse Love out qualify the 21. Jesse Love's in 9th right now at 32.09, and honestly, it looks to me like both of those cars just a little bit off. You got to think that they come in here with just a little bit different mindset. I'd love to hear from both of them and see that, because this is not going to be a good lap for the 21 of Austin Hill.
Wow. Opening round determines where you will start from 11th on back. And it's going to be outside the top 10 for Austin Hill, who is 20th on the board. Corey Day will advance, and I would have lost money if I was betting on him hanging on to that bubble position when you considered some of those drivers that went out late.
I got to think they're surprised by that. I mean, we haven't seen both of those cars qualify that together at a track like this since I can remember.
When would that have happened?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
They shared the front row last week at Daytona,
and how can that be?
Hill beat Love by 1,000th of a second. I mean, they basically were tied for the pole position. So let's look at the drivers that will move on and run for the pole. Haas Factory Team bringing it. Mayer and Creed the quickest. Joe Gibbs Racing had speed. 3 of the 4 from Junior Motorsports. And Jesse Love, who's got 7 poles in the draft, 9th quick in that opening round of qualifying. Opening round of qualifying is complete. That means we know how they will line up tomorrow night from 11th on back. Let's look at that starting grid for those drivers that know where they will roll off.
Justin Allgaier there just outside the top 10. Hector Starpoli there on row 7. You know, that's an affiliate of RCR on the Welcome campus, so maybe more indication of what we're seeing out of RCR this weekend.
I can't wait to watch Austin Hill. He was the other guy on that page at the bottom. Be fun to watch him try to come from the back. Jeb Burton also is another one. And Ross Chastain, look at that outside of row 15.
Sanchez right there with him. The man that won here last June. And here are the drivers that will have to come from deep in the field. Among them, Brennan Poole, who was very much in the hunt last week at Daytona. Dawson Cram, the one driver that fails to make the show. Let's hear from Jesse Love down to Kemp.
Yeah, surprises from RCR in that first round of qualifying. While Jesse Love did make it to the second round, 9th on the board. Was that a surprise to you and the team?
Yeah, I mean, me and Austin, I feel like we talked this week, and we obviously feel bad about just stinking up the show, especially the first stage of the race. You know, we're always leading every lap, and I don't know, we want to have something for the fans to watch. So, yeah, we're going to probably qualify around there for the second round, and then hopefully put on a better show this week for the fans and get to the front and not put on such a snooze fest.
Was the setup geared a little bit toward downforce versus raw speed?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we have it detuned a little bit, again, just for the fan entertainment aspect of it tonight.
All right. Sounds like that's all we're going to get out of Jesse Love. Dylan, maybe you'll have a little bit better luck with Austin Hill.
And let's catch up with his teammate, Austin Hill. Okay, Jesse just said that he wanted to give everybody else a chance, didn't want you guys to stink up the show tomorrow. So what is the level of concern with your lap and maybe if there is any for tomorrow also?
I actually have zero concern. I'm glad that the storyline will have to be something different than us having the fastest car here. So
we are too.
That'll be awesome. The only problem with being as far back as we are in 20th is you can very easily get caught up in a mess, especially early in the race. So, you know, hopefully everyone plays nice at the start of the race. We can work our way up to the front. The good part about it is we know why we ended up where we are. It's not like we're scratching our heads. So that's the good part about it. I think that there's some things that we can tweak on and work on overnight to kind of help going into the race. But I do think that this is going to be one of those handling style races. So I wanted to kind of, and our 21 team wanted to kind of err on the side of caution as far as just having too much raw speed. So we might have went a little overkill on what we thought, but all in all, I feel good about our Bennett Chevrolet, and I'm ready to go tomorrow.
We know you don't spend a ton of time at any type, of these racetracks, kind of in that middle to the back of the pack. So what do you need here specifically from your race car starting there tomorrow to just get to a comfortable spot?
You're just going to have to be able to go bottom when everybody's fighting for the top. You're going to have a car that's going to be capable of running the bottom, towing a line around, maybe even going middle of 3. I know that's kind of sketchy here, but if you have a car that has good handling, you should be able to just drive up through there. So we're hoping to do that tomorrow, but stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one.
Thanks, Austin. So it doesn't sound like too much cause for concern for the RCR group. Still in good spirits, at least in the 21 camp.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, and so the one thing he said, Parker, that stuck out to me is what I think has helped him and Jesse Love, mainly Austin Hill, though, at these places, is that they haven't been stuck back in the pack. They don't get, they finish these races because they don't get caught up in the wrecks because they're leading most of them. But I would say they both sold us that it seemed planned.
It's
somewhat.
by design.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesse had the deadpanned delivery.
He finally caved.
Yeah.
He finally caved.
He caved in the end. I'll give him credit for that. That was a good performance on his end. But, to unpack what Austin was saying there about what we've said a couple times through this show is it's that idea of how much grip is this place losing? And that's a guess that all these teams are making right now, and it's a big discussion. We came here for a very hot race at the end of 2024 where a lot of teams were caught off guard, how little grip there was on this racetrack. So, teams have learned from that, and usually this race is the colder one. You can get away with more sort of a super speedway, get the spoiler out of the air style car, but obviously RCR decided that's not the way to go here, and it's going to be a fun show for us.
I haven't done the math, but I would say temperature-wise, we're closer this weekend to what we were last June than we were last year in February. Hampton, Georgia is where the track is, 45 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Post-qualifying last year, Jamie Mack bought dinner in downtown Atlanta. You buying?
I did.
That's right.
Where are we going tonight? Why not?
Arby's, baby.
It is a beautiful evening here at Echo Park Speedway where qualifying is underway for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And topping off the first round of qualifying was Sam Mayer. So how easy will it be to replicate what you did in the first round?
I mean, easy to replicate. I don't know how else everyone else is going to do. Everyone's going to pick up pace. It's going to be a lot faster. So definitely got to do my job to pick up as well. But it seemed like my lap was pretty clean. The guys did a really good job. They're as reliable as O'Reilly Auto Parts, to be honest with you, building fast cars. And our qualifying speed has been great this year. So looking forward to keeping that up. Hopefully we can keep this Audubell Chevy up front and hopefully lead the field of green tomorrow.
That is Sam Mayer. The last run here, he finished third. We'll see what he can do tomorrow. Again, second round coming here from Echo Park Speedway. We'll see who tops the charts and takes home the pole for the race tomorrow.
It's a new era in NASCAR. Welcome to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Hey, champ, you got me? This is the start of a new season. It all starts right here in Daytona. Another opportunity to try to go get ourselves a championship. It all starts right here today.
Let them run in 2026.
Green, green. 27 comes to you, 18's the third on line guard top. 54 got no help, so we should be able to get by him. Clear low, clear low, clear low. Stay up, right in front, easy, easy, easy. Slow way down, right in front of you, He just came right across my nose, man. I don't know what I could have done different.
Who the f*** was that? That hurt so bad. Why the f*** did he roll up the track?
Wheels gone, that's why. Didn't have a brake either. Apparently it's 35, doesn't got one either.
Austin Hill, fresher tires, and here he is pushing his teammate.
Nothing in front, too. You guys are first and second now. Inside, still full with the 8 car. Half back to the 17. Still inside, top 3. Watch it here.
William Sawalich, Corey Day involved.
Dumb mother. My God, we're done.
White flag is out, 1 lap to go.
Back up to 7's pushing 44 hard here. Don't get too far out. 7's come back up to lock on 44. Be ready for the run. Here it comes. Shoving you. You're clear. Inside.
Here comes Jordan Anderson in the 32.
Drag. Don't get too far out. The run's going to come from the top. 39's with you. Going to shove you. Stay in it. They're dragging. Watch 7's run. Going to come from the top.
7's in a great position if they can stay locked together. Off of turn 4.
Up one. Hold top. Down now. We got it. Let's go.
He gets his 4th victory at the World Center of Racing. What a finish.
Oh my God, I love you, boys. I bet my heart rate was 190. That was probably one of the hardest ones.
Austin Hill from Winston, Georgia is just special when it comes to this. Heart rate 190. I wonder if these guys are betting the over or the under on that. I mean, the 190 heart rate is, I mean, if that's where it was, my gosh, he was working hard.
I haven't seen 190 in about 5 years.
It's mentally taxing when you're trying to lead those lanes and those red zone, those last couple laps of a super speedway race. Oh, some of the most intense racing you'll ever do in your entire life. Maybe not physical.
It's so much fun to watch that over again.
Yeah.
Those races at Daytona are just, it's so exciting at night under the lights with the sparks coming off the cars. And the runs that you see developing, some of them don't evolve, but gosh, it gets your heart racing again just watching them.
Do you think he even got excited?
I don't think Corey Day
even
got
though
excited.
He got spun, came back,
his heart rate hit 113.
the whole time.
Round 2 qualifying, running for the pole, slowest to fastest based on what they did in the opening round. Round 1 for Day was a 32.11, goes 32.036 here.
So Sam Mayer was correct. He said everyone's going to pick up. There's a little pickup there for the Hendrick Motorsports 17.
I was talking about the weather and how warm it is this weekend. Going to be 60 tomorrow. But this evening we hit 75.
Oh,
and that's
so nice.
exactly where we were last June.
Yeah.
Now, in fairness, we had some thunderstorms and all that last June when we were here that brought that temperature down. But it's interesting. And last February when we were here, 53, which actually that number's higher than what I remembered.
I remember in the 30s is what I remember. Yeah, it was freezing.
Mentally, it was really
cold. Really cold.
Jesse Love, 9th quick in the opening round. 32.09.
So we got to think he'll be around a 32 flat right here. It's about where he's tracking right now. You see just almost right on top of Corey Day, who ran 32.03.
I like those sparks. Something so cool about sparks out of a race car under the lights.
That's the other part of this race tomorrow.
Oh, that's a lot of them.
Right around 5 o'clock Eastern time. And the track going to change a little bit just because we go from day to night. Love second behind Day. 32.057.
So not quite as big a pickup then for Jesse Love as what Corey Day had there. A little surprised by that. I think we thought that with the pace the two didn't have in the first round, maybe they'd have a little more pickup in round 2. But obviously those guys seems like they went maybe for more handling than just outright speed. We'll find out tomorrow night.
It's the least RCR drafting track qualifying session I think I've ever seen.
That's right.
It's boggling the mind a little bit.
Gio Ruggiero making his second career start in the 19. Brett Cruz going to be driving this car, making his debut next Saturday on CW at Circuit of the Americas. And this is a big weekend for Ruggiero, doing double duty tomorrow, running full-time at the Craftsman Truck Series is this driver from Massachusetts. And really good in the draft. I know he didn't get the payoff in the O'Reilly race last Saturday at Daytona.
But getting lots of experience, too. Running the ARCA race, the truck race, the O'Reilly race. Like, that's what you have to do, right? You're a new kid coming along. You want to get better at all these tracks. Getting to run all 3 of those events, it's huge.
But 2 truck starts at Daytona. Second in both of them. He's won an ARCA race at the World Center of Racing, and he won a truck race at Talladega. So when it comes to this style, this kid understands it, gets it. Pretty good lap going here. In the green, takes him to the top. 32 flat.
What's his average finish in the truck series at Daytona?
P1, 32.01.
You talking about last weekend? Or just
up?
Second?
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Well, because I said he had a 1.5 average last weekend when he went second and first. That was prior to running the O'Reilly Auto Parts race.
I said a full fact.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a solid.
Even I could do that math.
Yep.
In general, though, Joe Gibbs Racing needs a bounce back. All 4 of their cars recorded DNFs at Daytona. Here's Sammy Smith.
And this is a track that I've felt like, of the drafting tracks, this would suit Joe Gibbs Racing.
Because the handling, you
handling
think?
matters, downforce. That's really where they usually excel over the years. And I don't know if it's just RCR's had it on lock, but I feel like maybe this is their opportunity this weekend.
Well, it looks like Toyota's a lot closer speed-wise at these type tracks than what we saw the previous couple of years. And obviously they found a little bit of power in the engines, and maybe that will pay off here, knowing that handling is going to be important as well. Tell you what, the lap by Corey Day, that was a pretty big pickup because we're not necessarily seeing that out of any of these other cars that have went. They've almost just kind of laying over what they ran on that first run. Sammy Smith was at a 32.02 on his lap, and honestly, he might run a little bit slower right here. Let's see. Yeah, 32.03. Yeah, actually same, just ticks slower, which is surprising that with a little bit of heat in the engine, the hubs, the rear end, all of that. Normally you see a little bit of a pickup.
It's getting cooler.
Yeah,
Sunset
everything going in your favor.
Says it should make a little bit more power, and all that should line up, and we're not quite seeing it.
Sammy Smith, 0.005 of a second quicker than Corey Day. Gio Ruggiero continues to set the pace as we check in on Raja Caruth in the 88.
See if the car travels as much as it did that first round. We kind of joked about how low that was. They had good speed, but a lot of sparks flew out from underneath the 88. You won't see that around the top. They don't have as much travel, a little bit smoother as well. Watch here when they get to the bottom, though, that car will get compressed. See those guys not have to use any of their racetrack on entry. There it is again.
Tracker real friendly to the 88.
Oh, yeah. So you want to make this track as short as possible.
So he ran a 32.02. You see tracking, it's going to be almost a 10th better. So really good pickup right here for the 88.
Coming off that 10th place finish last week. 3 truck starts at Atlanta for Raja Caruth. Halfway home in qualifying, and he is fastest, 31.94.
Great lap.
He won.
Marty's happy. Yeah.
I made fun of him having it too low there. Joke's on me.
Here he comes. Carson Quapple in the 1.
Well, we'll find out.
What's he driving?
Well, we're going to reference him as the meat missile, I think, all weekend, Parker.
3 junior motorsports cars advance to run for the pole. Caruth is quickest. Sammy Smith is 3rd right now. We'll see what Quapple can do.
Meat missile with a side of curly fries. So Carson ran 32.01 on his lap in the first round. Can't wait for that tracker to pop up. See if he's in the green, just right on top of Raj's lap. You see there.
It goes the right way.
Yeah, most of those guys I saw, it almost looked like they were losing a little bit in 3 and 4.
But not nearly bottoming out like the 88.
Travels look nice right here.
Continues to gain momentum.
We just barely ticking, yeah. Look at that,
Money
good
in the
lap.
bank. Off the turn 4. Good lap coming. Carson Quapple going to be leading the way. Bang to the top, 31.88.
Yeah, great lap. That's almost as quick as what we saw.
Good job, P1 so far.
Mayer running that first. You heard Rodney Childers come on.
How many to go? Have your tip.
We should have played the Marty Lindley audio back-to-back with Rodney, right? Because I mean, Marty really blipped it, and Rodney did not, right? Typical Rodney.
Can you imagine Rodney and Corey Day being together? Oh, my gosh. He'd be like, wow, wake up.
There's not an exclamation point anywhere around them.
No.
Hey, we're talking crew chiefs, and Jason Ratcliffe calls the shots for Taylor Gray. Best all-time in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series with 59 wins atop the pit box. His first ever came right here at Atlanta with Jamie Mack behind the wheel.
I was going to tell you, I don't know how many races he's won here, but I can confirm that he's won 1.
Yeah, that was his first, man. You got him going.
Yeah, it was back when TV was in black and white, Parker.
Man, and that's when they knew he was really good if he could win with Jamie
You're dang
Mack.
right. Absolutely. It was a fuel mileage win, I'm not proud to say.
Well, and hey, Taylor Gray got him a first last year because Jason, with all that success, had never won at Martinsville, but they checked the box.
Yeah.
Got that grandfather clock. 7th car out, 2nd round of qualifying, Taylor Gray. His teammate right now is 3rd, Gio Ruggiero.
He's another car right here. Taylor Gray not going to pick up from what he ran in practice. Well, yeah, he did. I'm sorry. He picked up a 10th right there, 31.90.
20 thousandths of a second behind Quapple. Gray is 2nd. 3 to go. Sawalich, Creed, and Mayer.
I have to wonder, if you're one of these cars that's out qualifying the RCRs by 2/10, you going in tonight a little worried?
I think there's more to the story.
Okay.
I think RCR is surprised by this. I know they might have come here wanting a little better handling, but that's a big difference.
This
to be
is
on the
too
pole
extreme.
last week and to be 20, was he 21st? Where was he at?
20.
Yeah, 20th. I don't know. That seems like a lot to me.
Jesse Love's most likely to be the
I think
back
they're
of the
worried.
top 10.
Yeah, I'd be concerned. I mean, it might race fine, but I think they're going to be surprised by that.
William Sawalich, 9th here last spring. Talked about how good he was last week despite the finish. and comes out of the gate strong here in this second round of qualifying. Was in the green, went to the red, now right on top of that fastest speed as he comes off the turn 2.
Man, look at that. It's incredible that you just can stay on that the whole way around the racetrack. Lost a little bit down the backstretch into turn 3.
Tracking right now in the 3rd position, right behind his teammate Taylor Gray.
Just slipped away from him through the whole lap.
Yep, almost the same. Ran a 94 in practice, or the first round, a 92 right here. Some of those cars were able to pick up a 10th, but I'd say there's a lot of them that are just running exactly what they ran in that first round.
2 remain, and it's the teammates from the Haas factory team. They've never qualified 1-2 in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and they were the fastest 2 in the opening round. First to go out and get it done, 00 Sheldon Creed.
This is really interesting. You know, you look who's P1, that's Jerem Car Hendrick motor. It's underneath the hood. Same here for the HFT cars. So it's sort of a battle of who really trimmed out that car correctly and made the right choices there.
Yeah, and you wouldn't, I mean, I guess both of them could have trimmed it out, but you got to think that HMS in general feels good about the engine program right now with 2 different organizations having speed when they get here.
Creed went 31.93 in the opening round in red as he comes off of turn 2.
Yeah, and it's going to be close. He's not going to have that 1/10 of a second pickup like we saw guys have, or some of them have. He ran a 93 in that first round. Honestly, it looks like he's going to be almost where he was right there, maybe around a 90.
Real close to what Gray ran.
Yep. Gosh, the meat missile might do it. Got 1 to go.
Creed goes to 3rd and runs the exact same time, nope, 1,000th slower than Gray. So that puts him 3rd. We know that Quapple's going to be on the front row. Will he be on the pole or 2nd? Mayer easily the best in the opening round of qualifying. Final to go here in the 2nd round and trying to lock down the pole position for round 2 here tomorrow night.
Actually feel pretty good for Carson based on the fact that Creed didn't have that big pickup. This car coming out of the same building and as close as they were in that first round, you'd be surprised to see him pick up a significant amount if his teammate didn't.
Teams do different little things in that time, you know, different times that they ran. We'll see.
Just live and die by this tracker.
Jumped right out there.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Money in the bank and gaining on it. Quapple's like, come on, man. No drama. Look at this.
This is going to be big.
It's not looking good, Carson. Still going to be on the front row, but it's not looking good for the pole.
Carson, yep, you get the front row.
That's right.
But you don't get the check that comes with winning the pole. That goes to Sam Mayer. Quickest in round 1, backs it up in round 2. 31.80.41 will be on point, and there's his crew chief, Jason Trincherry.
31.80. Nice job, guys. Let's go, baby. That feels so good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
5th career pole, and the first time he's led him to the green since Indianapolis last summer. And all 5 of his poles have come at different racetracks. This team needed a bounce back and might very well get it tomorrow, leading them to the green. Let's go down to Kim.
Well, the meat missile will start from the front row tomorrow. Not quite enough to get the pole. What was the difference there?
It was so close. Honestly, just can't thank everybody, Rodney and Mike and everybody on this number one meat rocket. I think that's what I said earlier. I said meat rocket?
Yeah.
Okay. Got to thank them for all that they do. Obviously, we have a pretty fast race car, and round 1, it seemed like the Haas cars were really fast, and we were able to kind of break into that little front row starting position they had. So we definitely made some gains in the second group there. So just super proud of everybody, and like I said, just super glad to have Arby's on board. I feel like it's going to be a really fun partnership with those guys, and I can't wait to get it started here.
There's been a lot of conversation just about the aging of this track. Obviously, the field split on whether we saw cars trimmed out or kind of set for better handling here in qualifying. Obviously, you have raw speed. Is there concern that it's not going to handle well, especially in that first stage?
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like I might have a little concern after seeing us starting on the front row. But you talk to Rodney, and he says we're middle of the road for trimmed out and draggy. So if he's not lying to me, I'm not too nervous. So I thought our stuff out on Q trim was pretty good. So hopefully in the race it handles as good as I think it will.
Carson Quapple starts from the front row tomorrow. Dylan.
And the driver he's starting next to is the driver that'll lead the field to the green tomorrow, and that's Sam Mayer. Okay, a lot of talk today about where the balance is between outright speed and handling for tomorrow. Your car obviously has speed. What do you expect it to drive like in the race tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we're showing up pretty similar to what we've done in years past and last year with this Haas Factory team. So I feel like it's going to be pretty good. We were in the race up in the top 5, top 10 all day, finished third. So feel pretty good about what we have. Huge shout out to everyone at Audubell, Andy's, Roto-Rooter. Getting this pole is super special. So it's my first speedway pole, I guess you could call it. So it feels pretty good, really rewarding. Everyone on the Haas Factory team did a great job. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do tomorrow.
You were with a different manufacturer last year when you had that good run. Being with the Chevy this year, is there anything that is going to be different that you have to do or are expecting tomorrow to have that same solid run?
Yeah, I mean, the pushes are definitely a lot different with this nose. So it's something that I've kind of relearned last weekend at Daytona, and it's going to be even bigger here at Atlanta. So definitely something I'm going to try to learn and take advantage of. I mean, I have the 00 kind of around me as well, so we'll be able to work together pretty well, I think. So really looking forward to getting rolling. I'm going to be chomping at the bit for the next 24 hours.
Well done. Sam Mayer leads the field to green tomorrow, and a great testament to the off-season work put in by Haas Factory team to get all these cars switched over to Chevrolet for this race season.
No question about it. A lot of speed, over 174 miles per hour to put him P1. And now we look at the top 10 starters for tomorrow night's race. 7 of them from the Chevy camp.
Kind of worries me what Sam Mayer said there, though. Coming back like they were last year, we know it was a lot colder here at this racetrack in this race last year, so we'll see. Jesse Love there, row 5, 10 for an RCR car, the drafting track. This is going to be wild.
And this is kind of a sprint race tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not a lot of time to get your work done. Something to think about as well. More coverage from Atlanta coming up on CW.
This place in Atlanta is like taking Daytona and condensing it into a bowl.
Here's Ty Gibbs looking low for the top spot.
What a
He's
move
got
just
him.
made there. I think he's going to clear him, but it's not over yet.
To the checkered flag. He's a winner in overtime at Atlanta.
Let's go! It ain't over till it's over!
Feels like you're going 1,000 miles per hour around this racetrack.
Sideways, can they hang on? Austin Hill wins here in Atlanta as they crash. Austin Hill gonna do it again.
That guy just figures out how to win on a super speedway in every unique possible way.
Yes. Austin Hill back to back to back. He does it again at Atlanta.
We had to work for that one, badass as usual.
If he's gonna make it a half dozen at his home track, Austin Hill gonna have to work for it. Qualified 20th for tomorrow night's race. Gorgeous evening as the sun goes down over Echo Park Speedway. Here's Kim Kuhn.
And Taylor Gray was third quick in qualifying. How confident are you that what is a fast car will also be a good car in the draft?
Yeah, I feel like, first of all, proud of everyone. Joe Gibbs Racing brought a really fast Operation 300 GR Supra. Proud of Jason and everybody on this group. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident. I feel like we have that good balance in our cars to begin with. So, yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
As you think about tomorrow, what kind of conversations are you guys having before, and what kind of conversations are you having with the rest of the garage? Because while friends aren't as important at Atlanta as they are Talladega and Daytona, they still are going to come in handy.
Yeah, I think just, again, kind of like you said, walking through that game plan, right, and kind of, picking our friends, and then obviously, at the end of these things, kind of all ties are off. So just getting a game plan together and being able to be there at the end, right? We failed to do that last week, so it's really important for us to be able to do that this week. And so, yeah, just having a solid game plan.
Last visit to Atlanta brought home a top 5 finish for Taylor Gray. We'll see if he can replicate that tomorrow.
All these guys are going through the same mindset right now of what's the grip level going to be on the track? Like, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? What's handling going to be like? What happened to RCR? Like they're all contemplating the same thing right now.
Do they know something we don't know? Right.
Did we miss it?
It's exactly what Carson said. That's the question I asked you, and you said I basically was stupid. But anyway, I think the thing is, it's a total guess. You just don't know. We don't get practice, and you haven't been here for months, and this place has sat, and it's just going to change and continually evolve, and so you've just got to try and figure it out. And guess
Well,
as you come here.
And the thing is, at some point, we're going to come here, and it's going to have that, like, wow, all the grip is gone.
Yep.
It's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet, even though it's slowly going away.
Mayer on the pole. His teammate goes row 2, Dylan.
Yeah, and that's Sheldon Creed, and we were just standing here admiring how close these times are, just 1,000th of a second separating third and fourth. And you said that's a good thing because that means you get to start on the outside tomorrow. So why is that such an advantage at the start of the race?
Yeah, I mean, my teammate getting the pole there, that'll give him the option to be top or bottom. And, yeah, I just feel like fourth is a little better and can get us together quickly. So, yeah, proud of everyone at Haas Factory team, happy with our Road Ranger Chevrolet, and, yeah, again, happy with another good qualifying result to start the year, and hopefully we can get ourselves clear and, yeah, kind of see how our car drives, in race trim. So really happy with that. I feel like we went with both, wanted to qualify good, but also wanted it to be good in race trim tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
You both raced well here last year, and you obviously both have speed today, you and your teammate did. So how confident are you with the balance of finding a good handling car versus a fast car that you'll have that tomorrow?
Yeah, I feel like our guys did a really good job in the fall race last year. Got to lead a bunch of laps there in stage 1 and was really happy with the balance. So came back very similar. Obviously some changes switching over to Chevrolet in the front of our cars and a couple of things that are kind of unknowns for us. But, yeah, confident in what we have for a package. And, yeah, I guess we'll see tomorrow on stage 1 how it drives.
Thanks, Sheldon. Kim?
Down here with Rajah Caruth, who's going to roll off tomorrow in the 6th position. Your teammate Justin Allgaier giving you a little bit of heat down here.
I was just trying to make him smile and laugh. He smiles really easy on camera, so.
What can I say? I'm pretty easy going.
How'd you feel about that qualifying run?
I don't know. I just held it wide open, and it was really, really fast. So really props to all of our JR Motorsports Chevrolets and really the men and women back at the shop. Same with the Hendrick Engine Shop. Like, we've had great speed the last 2 weeks in qualifying. Honestly, my stuff drove great last week as well, so we got little extracurriculars back there. But I'm excited for the opportunity tomorrow. I think starting, I guess I'm 6th, so I'm on the top, so that's a good thing. But it's a great chance tomorrow, so excited for the opportunity and celebrating Hendrick Automotive Group's 50th anniversary this year, so super excited about that. Hopefully we can get them a win tomorrow, my first win in this division, but feel good about the speed, and we'll see what we got tomorrow.
Career best finish last weekend and top 10 for your first outing with the team. What kind of momentum is behind you guys?
Yeah, I think I'm just more confident than anything. I really learned a lot racing up front last week and kind of answered some questions that I had coming from running trucks the last couple of years at the Speedway. So I feel confident, to say the least, Kim. So confident with humility, obviously, but I think we'll have great speed in our cars. Obviously, Carson qualifying up front, a Hendrick engine being 1st and 4th. Obviously, and then 8th and 9th with Sammy and Corey. So I think we should be all right, and excited for what tomorrow brings.
Rajah Caruth hoping for another top 10. Dylan?
William Sawalich is another fast Toyota in the field tomorrow. He'll start in the 5th spot, best qualified of those Toyotas, actually. So what were you able to learn about your car there, and what have you and Jabo talked about for tomorrow and what you're going to need from it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a good starting position. We can see the front and manage our race from there. We got the track position, so now we just got to maintain it. Our Sound Gear Toyota GR Supra's pretty darn good tonight, and hopefully it is in one piece by the end of tomorrow.
Coming into this race this year compared to this race last year, you've had 2 Atlanta races under your belt now. What did you learn last year that you feel like may be able to help you out a little bit more this time around?
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. It's a different kind of drafting track compared to Daytona. You got to take care of yourself more than, worry about others. Well, there are definitely some squirrels out there, but you just got to manage your own race and, pick everybody off one person at a time.
Good luck tomorrow.
The one thing I took from those interviews, the odd or even. Because when we talked to both Creed and Rajah, they both referenced the fact that they were an even number, which means outside lane. And I don't know that I ever recall in qualifying at a Speedway that being a topic of conversation.
So a couple of things that I picked up from that is that Sheldon Creed, they kind of felt like they came for handling and they qualified well. That's a win, right?
Yeah.
When you think you came to make it, you didn't really care about qualifying, and you have speed, that's awesome. That makes me feel good. The other thing is, as we were listening to those interviews, 6 of the top 9 are Hendrick Motorsports engines.
Jamie, they're ready for you.
She is definitely from the Connecticut area. I can tell you that.
Not a
Parker.
chance.
Yes.
That's a Missouri person if I've ever seen one.
We might see that posted later.
Well, Raja referenced the extracurriculars. Maybe it was the dance competition going on in the infield.
Out of the corner of his eye. That whole bottom versus top deal, though. That guy had something I wanted to say.
I think we should get to wins in the first 2 races of the season. Earnhardt did it in 86. Chad Little in 95. 08, Tony Stewart. Austin Hill did it in 24. If Austin Hill wins here tomorrow, he'll be the first driver to win the first 2 races in a season multiple times.
He's made, I think, this race more exciting right now. The fact that he's going to start that deep in the field. I can't wait to see how this is going to go for Austin Hill tomorrow night. It's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be a show, and we'll find out if they guessed right from RCR, or have we finally seen them make a drafting track mistake. Time will tell.
Carla Betts gets things rolling, 4:30 Eastern Time. It's NASCAR Countdown Live, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Great work, Dylan and Kim downstairs with Parker and Jamie in the booth. I'm Adam Alexander. Thanks for watching qualifying. Congratulations, Sam Mayer on the pole.